I'd like to call to order the meeting of the York City Historic Architectural Review Board. We'll have a roll call. Mr. Kunkel.
Here.
Mr. Skian. Mr. Skian's absent. Mr. Schermeyer.
Here.
Ms. McLean-Gross. Ms. McLean-Gross is absent. Mr. Buffington.
Here.
Ms. Gifford. Mr. Gifford. Sorry.
Here.
I am reading Ms. Hinsel's name next. Ms. Hinsel is absent. Can we have a motion to consider approval of the minutes from the previous meeting of August the 8th?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the minutes, say aye.
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 Motion is approved. Any unfinished business? Do you want to bring that up now or? No. Okay. The first case tonight is 29 South Queen Street, an application for third floor facade windows, which allegedly cannot be repaired, existing 28 by 49 windows. And a triple track storm will be replaced with Pella Lifestyle double hungs, 1/1 with metal cladding over wood windows. Window colors will match existing exterior paint. Are you here for that property? You're here.
Motion to deny.
Oh, you're here.
Yes, we own 29, and we're beginning preliminary work on the third floor apartment. I'll probably want to talk to codes at some point on what all we have to do with that, but right now those windows are a problem. The triple tracks are shot. The windows just are shot. My husband's been able to fix most of the original windows on the facade, but these ones, and added our age and needing to keep them clean, neither one of us is getting up on a ladder in our 60s, though, and I hate dirty windows. So we just decided to cut our losses and replace those. We went with the Pella wood, metal clad. Be high energy efficiency, easy to clean, no more ugly triple tracks up there. So they should, in their profile, look like they belong on the front of the building. I wish I could do something with the second floor, because those triple tracks there are ugly, but they still work, and but.
So how many windows?
2, up at the third floor, that eave. It's 2. They're kind of tucked in behind the tree. I had a hard time getting
the 2 dormers.
Huh?
The 2 dormers.
Yes, the 2 dormers, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I will move that we approve the application as submitted.
Second.
There's a motion to approve the application as submitted and a second. Are there any questions or other comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstaining or voting no? None, unanimous. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Always a pleasure to be here, gentlemen.
Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you. I need a moment.
The last one's not going to be here.
Next one's on the phone.
Yeah, that might need replaced.
Yeah, it looks pretty rough. Yeah, it's an easy one.
Okay. The next case is 120 North George Street, replace rotted, damaged windows with Anderson Woodwright windows. Is that your property? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you actually manage it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for Sean and.
To clarify that, it's not, yeah, for property management company.
Yes. So it's basically falling apart in pieces at this point, and just looking to replace it with the Anderson Woodwright.
Okay. I don't have any other questions on this.
How many windows?
This one,
Just one.
yep.
It's
I
on,
move that we, I'm sorry.
no, that's all right. I was gonna say, yeah, it's on the side of the old left
Yeah.
bank. Yeah.
Oh, it's on the side, okay.
Yeah, it's on the side above
On the front
the
of the
parking lot. Yeah, it's on the
Right,
front.
right. I was having even trouble identifying where on the side.
Yeah.
it would be. Yeah.
I'd move to approve as submitted. Was that slow enough, Nancy?
And I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve the application as presented. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to approve, say aye.
Aye.
And motion's approved unanimously. Thank you very much.
Yep.
You know,
You guys are about due for another project, aren't you? Okay. I'm waiting. You too.
If we could just convince the History Center to sell the.
Terry's 2 windows,
Uh-huh.
$5,000. Did you notice that? That's because of extension ladders and
$5,000 a piece or?
total.
Yeah.
Total.
For 2 windows.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
That's how expensive the windows are we
Yeah.
make people get.
so I'm getting ready to call the gentleman, give me a second here.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't show up. The sign is externally illuminated, correct? Because when I first looked at it, I was going to email you to email them and say, submit something that's externally illuminated or don't
Don't bother showing
bother
up.
showing up, don't bother submitting. And then I looked in it, I thought on the drawing there was external illumination called out.
Okay, I'm calling him now.
Yeah, well up lights.
Their existing signs are external, right?
Provide well up light angled towards sign to be flush with sidewalk with one on
Hey
each side.
Travis, so I have you on speakerphone and you are
This ain't
here at the meeting.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Can you hear him okay?
No.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I can hear now.
Yeah.
So speak up very loudly, and can you hear them?
This is the case 221 West Philadelphia Street to install a new pylon sign structure at the corner between existing brick structures and a concrete planter and a sidewalk foundation to be concrete footer with block, 3 feet below grade. And I don't know what that word
He's
is.
just reading off what
I'm
you put on
sorry.
what you put on the application.
Draft.
And I wasn't sure after it says block 3 foot below grade and what red brick, what kind of red brick?
It's I believe it's Droham red brick that's on the specs there. It's to match the existing brick on the building.
Okay. Above the sidewalk grade with a 4-inch solid block cap. I don't have anything on it, do you?
I'll just look at the.
My only question is to verify if I'm reading the drawings correctly, the sign is externally illuminated, it is not internally illuminated, correct?
Did you hear that? Mr. Schermeyer wants to know if the sign is externally illuminated and not internally illuminated.
It's externally illuminated, yes. There's going to be one well light on either side of the pylon sign, just like the other sign in front of the east building.
Yeah, okay, that's correct. That's the way I interpreted the drawing also. I'm just verifying. Okay, thank you. Yep. Yeah, then I have
Okay,
no
hold on, slow down.
issues with it.
I don't have any problems up to that.
So what did you say, Travis? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The well lights are consistent with the well lights in front of the east building pylon sign.
Hold on.
One
Well, lights are consistent with what?
with the lights on this pylon sign in front of the east building that we currently have in place.
Is this the Susquehanna Commerce Center?
Council principal.
Is this the Susquehanna Commerce Center?
Yeah.
Maybe they should send
So it's new
their
construction.
clerk.
With the pylon sign on the east side, did you say?
Yeah, we have the east building has a pylon sign in front of it for that business, or for that building. This is just for the west building.
Yeah, they need to send us, we used to have a secretary. It used to be the council secretary would do it. And it's 2 decades ago.
Spell, what's pylon is just is it P-Y or P-I?
P-Y-L-O-N.
L-I-N-E, right?
Oh, P-Y-L-O-N.
Oh, okay. It didn't even come up on my spell check.
Oh, jeez.
See, it's a non-word.
I would
That's
call it
when
a
you're
pillar
spelling
sign
it
myself.
bad. Hate when I do
Pillar
that.
sign would be another option.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. This whole thing is just screwing up big time tonight. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, this is effectively a reproduction of the existing pylon and or monument sign that.
Yeah.
I can't,
Outside
I
of
can't
that,
hear
just a
him.
few locations.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
What was that, Blake?
What was that?
I was just kind of talking out loud, clarifying. This is effectively just a reproduction of the existing pylon sign that exists across the path, just duplicated basically in another location.
Yep.
With materials to match. It's basically in kind. So, yeah.
Yeah,
To Mark's point, I see no issue with it.
yeah.
Move to accept as submitted,
Second.
approve as submitted, I'm sorry.
Did you second it? Okay, hold on. Sorry, Travis, I'm just
That's
trying to
okay.
get all of this in here.
No, I'm sorry about this, and I really appreciate you guys' willingness to do this. I really appreciate it.
Not anymore. Feel easier when they Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, you can take the vote or
We should be
whatever.
able to do a hybrid.
Did you hear that they, okay, so, did he do,
No, we didn't vote yet.
okay. So hang in there with us, Travis.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve and a second as presented. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Motion approves unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Travis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now, so this will go on, whatever the next, city council meeting is,
Okay.
whatever, I think it's September 3rd, which would be the first Tuesday of the month. It'll go on there, not saying that, I don't know that you need to be there, but you might want to be there in case they have any questions for you.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, before you run out of here.
One new item.
I was gonna bring up a point of business.
Okay.
Are we
think-
talking about something now differently?
This is
Yeah.
new business.
New business?
Going
Okay, hold on.
forward, I would make a motion that we don't do any more of these phone things. It's too hard to hear, and I mean, if they can't be here, then we should at least Zoom or,
Yeah, is there a way we can do a hybrid, like a Zoom for people?
So I was explaining that before you came in. I had asked initially if the gentleman could, I asked Cliff, can I use the same Zoom account and everything? He said it's just real difficult to get it set up because I had to do the solicitor by Zoom the other night for the zoning hearing board. And apparently it's a lot he has to get prepared, so,
So,
yeah, so.
yeah.
Since they did the, with Betsy the other night on the phone,
So what's the deal? Yeah, they have to they have to publish a link so that anybody can join by Zoom, or the person that you're allowing to join by Zoom can join by Zoom.
no, we don't publish a link.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a while, there was a period where all the meetings were held virtually during COVID.
Right, during
And
COVID, yeah.
the link was published.
but now since the meetings are live on Facebook anyhow, you wouldn't need to publish anything.
Oh, are they live on
Yeah,
Facebook?
she starts Facebook, right? That's what you do every
No, it's YouTube.
YouTube.
So they're live on YouTube.
They stream live on YouTube.
It streams on YouTube.
So can the, oh yeah, they couldn't join us except through Zoom because they can't, YouTube's not two-way.
Right.
Okay. It would just make sense if we, if you can do, if you could allow people to join virtually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with hybrid. I think hybrid meetings work well.
Yeah. And you do have people that are from out of the area
Yeah.
that it might benefit
Yeah.
them to do that, but it has to be in a format that we can hear what they're saying
Yeah.
and communicate effectively.
Yeah, if there was a question about anything, we ought to be able to have them reference the material, the
Right.
design. I mean, a sign is a relatively simple
Yeah,
thing
this was
to
an easy
consider.
one.
But if
Right.
it was a little more complicated, I'd like to be able to see it,
Right.
have them point to it
Right.
on a monitor.
Right.
So I don't know that there's any obligation that we do this.
I don't believe
in
there
any
is.
ordinance. And we're happy to do it, but we just, I think, ought to do it through Zoom
Yeah, I would agree.
or a
Or Teams.
similar
Teams, probably.
Teams,
A
yeah.
lot of people use Teams.
That's
I
become
find
more popular. But
Yeah, because it comes free with your Microsoft
Right.
subscription. But Teams is more popular, but Zoom is more user-friendly.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. So,
So I think it has to do with, and I'm just purely speculating, so if we do Zoom, then they come up on,
The TVs.
yes. And then, so the other night, for instance, like the solicitor, he was on the TV, and as long as each of the members, when they spoke, had their microphone on, it was a two-way conversation, you could see it. I think it's the setup for the TVs, because even if he does Zoom and we don't set up the TVs, then you're only gonna see it on my laptop. You know what I mean?
these monitors must be linked to something that you,
Yeah.
They are, it's just
Oh,
Cliff has to.
I can bring it up, but I don't know, I can't speak for Cliff, so I don't know what he has to do to prepare.
Well,
All I
he's
know on
the,
Thursday night, as I
AV.
brought, I could bring
Should be.
Andy on my laptop, and then I could hit the Control K and put it on here, but I don't know.
A little later at work to set it.
Okay.
yeah, that's all it requires. Yes.
These days.
It's not, yeah.
I think it's the consensus of the board that in the future, if there's to be a remote discussion, we'd like to have it visually available through Zoom or.
Affordable housing advocates can and has the equipment to have hybrid board and committee meetings, which they do all the time. They could here.
Right.
So could the History Center, but that's a whole nother.
I put-
Or the old
Board
PowerPoint
members-
projector, but that's a whole
Board
nother.
members stated they should be allowed, that the applicant should be allowed to do it by Zoom or in person only.
PowerPoint projector is now.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that's that item. There's another item that Dennis wants to bring up.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on, let me make them.
We got to
Don't
mute.
hit your head.
Since there's more than one, let me make them bulleted items.
We're off the record and we mute.
Are we on the record?
Do you have the stream off? Are we live?
No, I don't. Do you want it off?
Well, we're still in session, and this is new business.
Yeah, so I guess it stays on.
Go ahead.
So as you know, I represented this esteemed group at City Council Tuesday. And since then, I was on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's website. And my question to the group is this the project we're talking about?
No, this is the one across the street, I bet.
Right, it is. It's probably the one.
I would think so. This is the one that Jack Kay had put out an RFP for about 2 years ago, and, Campbell Construction submitted a big proposal. We were part of that, and
What
Well, it's
website
just
were
that
you
the
on?
name of it,
Dennis, what website?
York's Northern Gateway,
Station House. I think this
Well-
is the one across the street, because they had a rack P.
because
Or maybe this is the
No,
one with the rack P.
this is.
No, you're right, this is the site, yeah.
This is the
okay,
site.
so because the name of the new private park they're proposing to build on the empty lot after
Right.
the demolition
Right.
is called Northern Gateway.
Right.
Yeah.
If they intend to use this money, they have to do a complete environmental impact statement.
Yeah.
Meaning they have to hire a reputable environmental entity, which would go into the history, the minute history of these properties, and weigh the value of those properties.
PHMC has to
and
weigh
it'll
in.
cost them some money.
Yeah, it's.
Otherwise, they can't touch
Well,
that
and it's hard to
RACP
get,
money.
and you don't get it till after you've spent it. You have
Okay.
to leverage
Oh,
your
yeah,
construction
yeah.
loan against it,
Well,
yeah.
and my next question is,
Okay, hold on.
Oh, God.
You want it?
You have to note all this?
Before you got here, City Council.
Yeah, I know.
City Council wants more specific HARB
Well,
minutes.
yeah, the point is, if they intend
It's
to use
recorded,
this
tell them
money,
to send you a stenographer.
within the application, they've committed to renovating the facades.
Yes, they have.
And if they don't,
do you read the second thing that's written there? That's off of the Commonwealth website.
Space for a bike shop, restaurant, outdoor seating, market rate apartments. Front facades historically rebuilt.
So what are we,
That's a significant change.
I mean, this is,
Yeah.
this means
So,
that the city.
this project here was not a HARB case, the way this is worded. This wasn't a HARB
Right,
case.
it wasn't,
The
correct.
first time they came to us was when they wanted to keep Gloria's,
Right,
tear down everything else,
Right.
have some outdoor seating.
right.
Okay,
That's
that's the one.
controversial, but I voted for it because they were saving the corner building, which was the oldest one. Yeah,
Well, but we denied it.
Ray denied it, correct. Yeah, I voted for it.
But everyone else.
Yeah, and I
voted
caught-
against it.
And,
Shit for it,
And
but yeah.
council approved it.
Council
anyway.
approved it.
okay, and then, when he recently came to us.
Right.
It was the total demolition.
Yeah.
Put in that park.
Yeah,
Have you looked at the picture of the park?
no.
The park is a sign that says your,
It's 6-foot-high letters.
Yeah.
Welcome to York City.
It's a concrete patio,
And it's private.
stupid metal.
Like the city won't be cleaning up trash.
Weird.
And,
With their
okay.
reasoning being that it was unfeasible physically because of the condition of the property to do any sort of.
Yet 5 years ago, they were proposing a complete restoration.
Well, the two buildings in between, I don't know about the old Cupid's building, but between the corner building and where that Cupid's place was, which is the one against the old Pullman building, those are facades only.
Right.
There's nothing behind them. There's been nothing behind them for
Well, burned
15
out.
years.
It's like burned out timbers
shell,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That they can't even do masonry repairs to over 10 feet high because of Med Ed.
You can, but you gotta,
It's cost prohibitive.
yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
how can Med Ed do that without filing an eminent domain claim? You can't affect private property.
Right.
A utility or a government
No, the
can't
thing,
do it.
right, the thing is just that you have to, there are procedures which cost money to work close to those lines. and they don't want to spend that. They don't have a budget to spend it anymore. But there were all sorts of private developers that looked at that, 20 years ago that were ready to go ahead with different projects there, and then the economy crashed and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Real estate
With your
crashed.
knowledge of the cost of demolition, isn't it kind of like 50,000 a house?
Oh, it's probably more than that.
More.
Okay,
Yeah,
call it-
until they have to abate things and everything else.
Have any of
And
those properties been abated? I mean,
How many
Gloria's probably
of them is it? Oh, but it's not residential. So they have to be abated because you can do up to what, 5 residentials before you have to do abatement? It's either 3 or 5, but.
It
okay.
depends if they're spending money like this, they probably got to, they got to abate it as part of the project.
Well, I'm just thinking,
Because of the funding.
1.8 million won't knock those houses down?
Oh, I think that would do it.
Yeah, that would.
But
yeah.
I don't think they're going to give them a rack P to knock houses down.
So Dylan just can't pick up the phone and call somebody up at the state?
No,
Hey,
and
we have a
and
change of plans
his
here.
friend Tom isn't there anymore, so I think it's it's more difficult. Yeah, there's nobody to lobby. So I mean, what happened at council?
Basically, he gave that same pitch where he urged us to deny it,
Yeah.
so that this doesn't become a precedent of other people tearing buildings down. He's like the good guy,
Yeah.
right? And,
Let me do it, but nobody else.
and then Teresa wanted me to give the reason why we denied it. And I just said, well, we denied it last time when they were going to keep the old building. Now they're tearing them all down. So it was an easy decision.
For a vacant lot, basically. Yeah.
Right. If she wanted me to give an impassioned speech, she asked for the wrong person. And he had brought along with him 2 other
had
people,
Craig there.
including this big drawing of the park.
Is it for warehouse people?
That was never brought out. And I'm thinking, why isn't it up on the screen for city council and the 8 people in the audience? It's just like they don't want to really talk about it. Because I think it's the craziest, ugliest thing I've ever seen.
I'm not wild about it either.
So they're allowing him to tear it down.
Oh, yeah.
Did Teresa vote against it?
She was
she
the only
did.
one.
And
Buckingham?
No,
Buckingham brought it up.
everybody else voted to overrule.
Elsbeth
Elizabeth?
went.
Took 15 minutes.
No.
The Jeopardy thing.
Yeah.
What? And then voted no. No meant to not accept
Right.
our recommendation. So it was only Teresa.
Wow.
So are you going to resign from the board? Because the discussion was the last time, if council keeps doing this, the whole board's going to resign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much of anything.
See the letters?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
And when you look in real close, there's a guy here playing cornhole.
Well, that's welcome to York.
So that's going to be your view.
Yeah.
That's our
Welcome to York.
that's our city sport.
That's the work of Ryan Wu out of China. I actually know the renderer that they use.
Oh, they don't even use AB sketches?
No.
They don't use somebody local?
No. Whistleblower. Whoops.
So that's pretty good. Pretty good information. Yeah.
That's so disappointing.
Here's China's
Not that I didn't
hope
know
for
they were going to
York.
vote that way, but
Right.
Demolish everything of value.
Well, it comes down to the thing is, what are we spending our time, what are we wasting our time for? Because they never uphold anything.
Well, if you guys
kind
want to
of-
resign, I'll happily join you.
Well, maybe we should
I mean,
consider it.
I think that would probably make
Anything else,
the newspaper
guys? I think I have a word.
Probably would, yeah.
You're not typing up, we're just discussing.
But I think we would have to have some kind of consensus that we have kind of a mass resignation. The only one that can't, Steve.
Right.
You know, but as for the rest of us, I think, and we have 3 members who aren't here. So
It does beg the question why
why we spend the time. Yeah.
Right. Council has the ability to overturn us, and in their infinite wisdom sees economic value over historic
Well,
value.
there's no economic
Of a
value.
patio?
The
Yeah.
problem is, there is no economic value. That's
Right.
my point. So it's really unfortunate.
And the house they're tearing down, one of them is, it's over 200 years old. So what if it's 1820 and not 1780? I mean, what's the difference between 204 and 244? It's like, anyway.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of extra ironic that it's the 275th anniversary of the
Yes.
county.
Yeah.
When there are a lot of people with good money and intentions, including the Lancaster Conservancy, putting
Right.
a focus on York,
Right.
wanting York to be
Right.
something a little more special, and so we're just going to waste.
Right.
We're going to lay things to waste for
Right.
the benefit of a future hope for developer.
Right.
Bad
Right.
business.
Right.
But see, I couldn't have said to Dylan from the podium, looking back at him, in 2019, you were going to restore all these properties, and now, 5 years later, you're giving us C.S. Davidson reports so that they're in dire condition. Did you not mothball these in 2019?
Well, and that buildings aren't that bad. I've worked on, this goes back forever, but especially when I was right out of school, college, worked for a preservation architect in Maryland, restored stuff that was literally collapsing. So Maryland National Capital Park and Planning put the money behind that. You have enough will, you can do it.
I think we should have done.
So, it's like,
My opinion is this was intentional demolition by neglect. Just my.
well, and I don't think it's that neglected, at least the corner building, that it can't be.
No, the corner building for sure, I would.
It's a matter of
think would
money. Yeah.
be. And, how hard would it be to preserve those facades? I know they were saying about different
Right.
elevations and whatnot.
It's
but-
money. It's not.
It's money, and I think they're a little bit in over their head.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they've been in over their head for quite some time.
I think they planned on getting those and doing the same type of relatively straightforward renovation on an old brick and timber structure
Right.
that they've done everywhere else in the
Right.
city.
Right.
Well, I think
How much of this?
maybe what
in the middle?
an appropriate response may be a letter,
Put members were
council.
discouraged to vote
From the
to
board.
now.
Okay.
and I'll write it.
Okay.
And I'll send it to all of you, and if you like, at the next meeting, we can all sign it.
Okay.
Or whoever wants to sign
Okay.
it can sign it.
Okay.
How's
What is
that?
it that you're going to provide? I'm sorry.
A letter to council.
Nancy, for this part, you can just put there was extensive discussion regarding council's decision.
Yeah, I just put that that Mr. Kunkel attended the meeting on 8/20 and stated he was on the Pennsylvania website asking if it was the project that was previously denied on the corner of North George and North Street. Mr. Kunkel reiterated the first time they came to save the buildings, most recently was for total demolition. The board was discussing how 5 years ago they were proposing restoration. They discussed further whether the reasoning for not being able to restore versus demolition. And then you guys went on to residential versus commercial
The
discussion.
real question is if they're not preserving an 1820 house, or a house that's 204 years old, then what the hell are we going to preserve?
And, that.
For a vacant lot.
They should have disclosed that the money that they have available to them was contingent upon a
Right.
specific
Right.
salvage of those properties.
Yeah,
What
and I put they were discussing whether they would get a RACP for demolition.
No, I don't think the rack P, I've
rack
never
P
heard of a
is
rack
for the
P.
total project.
A rack P has to, it's only awarded to provide some kind of economic opportunity to the community. Otherwise, you don't get it. If you're not providing jobs, you're not providing, I mean, that's how the History Center was able to finagle getting their 2 rack Ps, because supposedly that's to provide benefit, provide additional jobs, which they don't have the money to hire anybody else. But it's like, you know.
Honestly, Nancy, for this part of the meeting, all you have to do is put extensive discussion followed. This is nothing they need to make any decision on.
Was it just
so.
Dylan stepping up and saying, hey, let's do it? And then-
Well, earlier in the week, Dylan sent a letter to all the city council members outlining things that the money they've spent on these, they've put thousands on roof repairs, and they've been paying taxes on all of them, and then the thing about asking us to
And I guess the Pell found, and given away a lot of their properties, and they've been trying to divest of a lot of their properties. My guess would be that the Appel Foundation isn't as generous as they used to be. So their backers are not
I thought he even said,
shoveling out the money willy-nilly like they used to be.
I think he said they've done 100 buildings.
They might have, yeah.
To one extent or another, not
I
like.
was wondering
all
what
major.
documentation Dylan and Royal Square handed over to the council to show, hey, these are our financial projections and why this, or any pro forma or anything that was given.
Probably didn't.
I
Yeah.
doubt it.
Because I don't know if he said this to us, that 10 years from now, that park, that land, will triple in value.
It's exactly
that
what he said.
said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So this is all, which is good for whom? That it triples in value.
I guess for him, because he could sell it to somebody to develop it that would, he'd make some money on it. I don't
I've
know.
heard a Rutter's gas station being thrown around for that location, honestly. In these.
Seriously?
Yep.
Sure.
Get out of here.
That's the quality that they have in mind.
Wow.
Boys without ethics.
Seems all
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the Pennsylvania Avenue store, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, we kick this one. I will write a short letter, but hopefully a pointed letter and
I thought you would
send
do
it
a
for
luminous
you.
letter.
Yeah, it'll
Let me
be,
know what you think.
I don't,
Yeah, you don't want to
never
get
teach a
bored
pig to
quickly.
sing. It annoys the pig and it wastes your time.
Well, I just think, and unfortunately, the council's changed from a few years ago, but it's the same old, other than Teresa, it's the same old show.
It is.
So, it's like,